Welcome back to another episode of That's Business. Today's guest, Mark Lane, is a communication strategist, storyteller, and the host of Ghosted by the Machine, a podcast exploring the human side of modern hiring. With over 2 decades of experience in corporate communications and media production, he brings both executive insight and real-world job search experience to conversations about AI, hiring, and making the process more human. Mark, I'm so pumped you're here today. We have a lot to talk about, but before we get into Ghosted by the Machine, let's throw it back to childhood. What did you want to be when you grew up? I mean, I'm guessing you didn't say you wanted to host a podcast, but what did you want to be when you were growing up?
You know, I wanted to be on stage somewhere as an entertainer. I wanted to be at Pine Knob singing on the stage.
Oh my gosh. And you didn't include in your bio that you are a musician. So I have to ask, what age did we get started and how old? Because most children, that's terrifying to be on stage. Not you, though.
So I started when I was, when you get the little recorder in like 5th or 6th grade. And then they say, okay, now it's time for you to learn an instrument. And by the way, we only have violins and drums here to give away in elementary school. And I had to beg my parents to go out and rent me a saxophone. So I always want to play saxophone. I've been playing since 11, 12 years old. I also played baseball in high school. I wanted to do both, but I didn't get the chance to do both. I've done music, went to college, went to Henry Ford Community College, went to Interlochen, summer studies up in Interlochen for jazz studies. The college I went to, we went to Mardi Gras. I played at Carnegie Hall. I had a chance to play at Carnegie Hall. I traveled Europe twice. I played at Montreux Jazz Festival in Switzerland, the jazz festivals here in Detroit. I've won a couple Music Fest awards, outstanding soloist. So I was a musician. I played in wedding bands growing up, and that's where I got started.
That's amazing. So where did this whole marketing side of you come from? Or when did we decide, just kidding, we're going to be this incredible marketing strategist?
I played in a cruise ship and for when I'm in my mid-20s, and I needed a real job. And I was helping book entertainment, and I got into the selling radio time at WNIC Radio. If you remember WNIC, they had Harper Gannon and the Man, Harper and Gannon. And they needed someone to do Bill Clinton at the time. And so Steve Gannon did Bill Clinton, but he heard I played saxophone, and they brought me in to play saxophone for the morning show. So I was selling radio time and working on the morning show playing sax. I wouldn't say working, coming in and playing songs on the saxophone. And I'm like, this is pretty cool. This is kind of neat. I'd like to do this. So I went to Specs Howard, saw the writing on the wall, and started at Specs Howard. Went up north, worked for a radio station, WCFX Radio, all its 95 CFX, today's best music and your favorites. From the past 10 years was the sign-in. I did afternoons for a couple of years. And, it's a job that you got to love it, and you got to stay to the grind because, quite frankly, the money isn't all there unless you work in a big market. I talked to my teacher at Specs Howard, Dick Kernan, and I said, this isn't really happening, man. I'm not making any money. I'm a little older. I decided to move home, move back to Dearborn where I grew up, and started working for a local TV station and produced a show called Wreckin' Sports, and won a couple awards for it, and was seen by the executive director at the Palace of Auburn Hills. And I get a phone call. I went to high school with a guy, and he said, hey, can you meet me for lunch? I'd like to talk to you. So they hired me as a multimedia producer at the Palace. So in 1997, I was producing content for the Palace and doing voiceover work and shooting the videos and directing the videos at Pine Knob for all the bands. So guess what? I was on stage.
You're on stage at Pine Knob.
So I was kind of like, hey, I made it. This is pretty darn cool. I did that and then got hired at Channel 4. I was a media producer of sports for Channel 4 for Bernie Smilovitz, Fred McLeod, Fred Human. Wasn't really excited about it because working behind the scenes can be a little bit frustrating and a lot of stress.
Yes.
And decided to get into producing my own stuff for clients. Was an auto share narrator for OnStar. I was Batman for a couple seasons, traveling the country and producing content for some some people around town. And I met someone from a PR firm, and I was producing stuff for Verizon and Comcast. And I'm like, wow, I can do this, right? I made a phone call after one of the shows. I said, look, I've got a kid on the way. I want to come home. I don't want to be on the road. He goes, about time. I want to hire you. So I started at Mark's Lane, public relations, no relations whatsoever, as an account executive, learning how to write press releases, build relationships. And yeah, that led to my career in marketing communications. So I've been doing that got close to 18 years. I was a director of PR for Goodwill Industries of Greater Detroit for close to 9 years, producing concerts and events and golf outings, rock concerts, bowling events, building relationships. And that's, led my career.
That's incredible. Now, with all of this, and especially in this industry, it's a lot of nights and weekends, and, you got to get things going. So how did you kind of find that, little bit of work-life balance? I remember you sharing with me, you had first kiddo on the way and like, oh, well, I don't want to work these crazy hours, but what was that transition period like for you?
I looked at it, in playing music too. I stopped playing music when my kids were born. I just said,
Oh, wow.
I want to be there for them. I want to make sure that my family's taken care of. So, I had a real job Monday through Friday. Once in a while, we do events on weekends, but not all the time. So it was great. And then as my kids got older, I was coaching baseball and softball and really doing all that. Still once in a while, pick up my horn and play a little bit. And then as I got older, it was like, it's time. I think it's time. I want them to see their dad play because they never saw me play. And, the horns were collecting dust. So when they were in their teens, I started playing in bands. I played in a group called Motor Honey, which probably one of the best bands I ever played in. We did a lot of originals, played local bar circuit around town. It was a lot of fun. 5-piece group. We did a couple music videos. We also did a couple CDs. So that got me back into the mode of playing again. So but my kids got a chance to see me play, which was really cool.
What were their reactions?
Holy shit.
Wait, my dad's actually pretty cool. What?
I used to sing to them a little bit when they were growing up, but just the fact that the chance to see me on stage and play and oh wow, hey Dad, you should be playing this song, or why aren't you doing that? I'm like, oh my gosh, they're getting into it. And they played, I taught them. My son played piano, my daughter played guitar while they were growing up. So trying to get that music feel back into the family, which was great.
Yes. Oh, that's incredible. Now, I'm just so fascinated by musicians, as we've shared multiple times, of course, and just how you go through it and just loving to be on stage and just the amount of interesting people you meet. And there is, me personally, I don't know, maybe call me a bar rat, but there is no better feeling than the band is playing so loud, but it's like your song, you've had a few drinks, and it's just like the atmosphere. Everyone wants to just be friends and just talk, and that Midwest charm here being in Michigan, like, oh, it's amazing. And so we start this podcast too. You start Ghosted by the Machine. Where the heck did that come into play with your back in your corporate? And I know you're looking for a job, but
okay,
you just do everything.
So switching gears. So like I said, I've been doing communications and marketing for close to 20 years. And I've worked at Fortune 500 companies. I worked for More Crim Communications. We did a lot of work with the water department here in Detroit, other nonprofits. So I've grown this really large toolbox of all these different things that I've done. And creativity is probably my base. That's my foundation with music and writing and video work. And I love being creative. So I lost my job in March. Culture fit wasn't there where I was at. And, I figured, okay, a couple weeks, I'll have a new job.
Right.
I started, posting on social media, posting on LinkedIn. I'm looking for a job, but kind of what everybody's doing and has been doing for the last year or so. I've lost my job. I'm open to work and blah, blah, blah. And every month I'd write a story or a little blurb about where I'm at. Okay. It's my wedding anniversary. This is what I'm going through, or it's my son's birthday, and this is what I'm going. I played last night, and we played this song, and it kind of fits in where I'm going right now. Blah blah blah. We did Journey, and this song just reminds me of my journey that I'm going through and trying to find a job. So I would kind of write those types of stories and be as creative as possible. I'm trying to engage people, right? That's what you do on social media, and maybe some job person would see it, which honestly, a couple companies saw my post and reached out to me. I didn't have the fit, but it was great. They reached out to let me know we're watching you. Okay. So someone in early October, his name is Zoe, sent me a note on social media on LinkedIn and said, "Hey man, I just wanted to write you. I don't have a job for you. This isn't, I'm not a bot. I'm not spamming you. I just want to let you know that I really love when you post because it fits what I'm going through. And I can see myself in your shoes." And I was like, wow, I was kind of touched. I'm like, wow, this is cool. Didn't expect that.
Right.
So I reached out to him. I set up a phone call with him and we had a chat. And I was like, man, I really got to figure out what I'm doing here. I can't get a job. I'm not finding anything. I've applied for over 500 jobs. What is going on? I've only had maybe 24 interviews. This is ridiculous. So I went to bed after that conversation, got up the next morning, and I said to my wife, I said, I think I'm going to start something. I'm going to start a podcast. Sure, about time.
Always a reaction.
Yeah, about time.
Talk about a great supporter. Yeah.
You know how to do all this stuff. Why aren't you doing it? Why aren't you doing it? So I did some research, and I kind of went through all of my journeys. I put it in I did put it in the AI.
Yeah.
What am I looking at here? What feels right? What's a great name for this show that's going to embody what I've been writing?
Mm-hmm.
Ghosted. That came up. Because
just kept coming up.
I would have this. I'd get emails at 3:00 in the morning on a Sunday. Thank you for applying for this job. Just wanted to let you know the job has been filled, and we'll keep your resume on file in case something else comes up. Well, I applied for that job 3 months ago.
Right.
That's where I came up with Ghosted by the Machine, and today I posted my 25th podcast since end of October.
Woo, that's exciting.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I started doing 2 a week, posting them and with social media. And I said, I'm going to do 1 a week and then I can preview it, do some post stuff, get ready for the next one. And then crazy, last month, someone reaches out to me and said they wanted to talk to me. He works in HR at Corwell.
Wow.
He's a musician too. And he is a friend of a friend. And we start chatting and he's like, look, is there anything I can do to help you? Oh, and by the way, I want to introduce you to this podcast network. So he introduced me to Work to Find Podcast Network. They've got about 4 million views every month on their network. They have 85 other podcasters, and they wanted me to join them. So I'm now on a network, and I got some other things that I'm working on. Hopefully, are going to transpire in the next couple of weeks. But it's been amazing. And like some lady told me today, I'm a single shingle. So maybe single shingle. So maybe I could find something. I don't know. I don't know where this is going to lead me. I don't know if this is a job. I don't know what a career. I don't know. But I'm going to play it as best I can.
Well, and if you feel comfortable, I mean, what does this I don't know phase of life feel like right now? Because I think a lot of people are in your same shoes. They either doing a passion project or something that is actually getting traction, trying to look for a job and maintain life. I mean, what's it feel like?
It's the worst feeling I've ever had.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because you don't know. I go to bed at night and, I say a prayer and I get up in the morning, say a prayer and, where am I going to be? I'm paying my bills. We're paying the bills. Fortunately, my kids are out of college and they're on their own now. But I really, I want to have a job. I want to have a job where I can, okay, let's go out to dinner tonight, or I haven't been able to do that. My friends they call weekly. Hey, how you doing? And I'm okay. I'm usually the one to say, or calling them, say, hey man, let's go out and do something. I can't do that. And that's not me. So I've kind of had to step back. I'm not in 5th gear right now. I'm in 1st gear and reassessing everything and doing the best I can. But it's a terrible feeling. I wouldn't want to give this to anybody, but I'm working through it. I'll get through it.
And I feel like you're one, and in the brief time that I've been blessed to get to know you, you're someone that I feel just like one step forward is still a step forward. I mean, anything that you are so on top of everything, where posting and getting contacts, and you had to remind me multiple times to send you the link to schedule with me. So I appreciate you. But it's just like, you're making progress, and that's what needs to be talked about, especially when you're posting on social media, when you're putting yourself out there. It's the necessary evil. I get it, people hate it, but the amount of strangers that have reached out to you or just know what you're doing, and I'm sure there's even more people you don't even realize they're seeing it. So I love the authenticity that you bring, in that you're like, this is who I am and this is what's going on. It freaking sucks, but I'm going to figure it out.
So here's something, and I know I'm looking over at my computer, but someone I worked with like 20 years ago. I was telling you about the company I worked at.
Yes.
I've known her for 20 years, Susan. I wanted to send you a quick note to congratulate you on reaching 25 episodes. What a milestone. I really enjoyed the podcast and admire how thoughtfully you're building something that resonates with and supports others. Well done. I mean,
I had to feel good.
yeah, I was like, Teresa, come here. I read to my wife,
Yeah.
Hey, it's not paying the bills, but you know something? This is what I'm doing. And when you have people that want to be on the show, that want to tell their side, someone today in Texas, he's been out of work since last July 7th, he said today. And this guy is doing the best he can, and he's hurting. And we're talking about his story, and my heart aches for him. I'm in the same boat. And I said, look, I feel bad. I don't know. I wish I could help you because I am trying to help myself. Hopefully this gets you get a chance to spread your message. Somebody might see this, but you feel better about it when it's done. And other people are going to see this. And I want to spread this message from far and wide to let people know who you are. So if there's anything I'm doing, I'm helping other people with helping myself.
Exactly. You absolutely are. Now, how do you kind of maintain that momentum on the days where, we get our imposter syndrome, we get our...
This is seltzer water. I
was like, I know Waterloo. He's holding up his seltzer water as if it was a drink for those that can't see.
Seltzer water, sponsored.
Yes. Sponsored by Waterloo. Waterloo, sponsor us. Yes.
Yes.
But how do you kind of maintain that? I mean, obviously your wife is incredible. Shout out to Teresa. But how do you kind of maintain that on the days where it's like, I should just do something else and figure it out, not do the podcast or whatever it is?
I'll be totally honest. Monday was horrible for me. Because I was like, what am I doing? Things aren't moving. I'm not getting phone calls back. I was supposed to work on a freelance project. I'm waiting for this guy to call me. He's not calling because he's like, oh, we're going to do something on this week. I haven't heard anything. What's going on? And then I got this other project I'm trying to work on. That's not moving as quickly. I'm not motivated. I learned this from another person I talked to. I need a mental health day.
Yep.
And that was yesterday. As bad as it was, it's probably a good day to take a mental health break. Took the dog for a walk, took a deep breath, made dinner. I got to my project later last night and finished it off, but still, it's tough. There's some days you just feel like crap.
It is. I mean, and it's, especially on the entrepreneurship route, there's people, I had a friend who's making $10 million a year, and I'm like, and you're going to have issues with your confidence? There's no hope for any of us then. Are you serious now?
Oh, my Lord.
But it's just so interesting because no one that I've met that runs a small business, runs a podcast, does anything. It's like the highs are highs and the lows are lows. And it's hard. And I just had this conversation with my mom last night. I'm like, the difference in having a business now when you have to be on social media, you have to be in people's faces versus, 80s, 70s, 80s, 90s, you could just walk into places and close a deal. Yep. It's different. And both are equally hard, but arguably this is a little harder of getting your message out, and you're editing your podcast. Like, you're doing so much already.
Well, I'm proposing to work for someone to do some freelance, and I've got to put a contract together and I got to give him pricing.
Right.
My stomach hurts because I'm like, well, here it is. I'm not excited to give it to him because I'm afraid he's going to say it's too much. Can't do it.
Or it's like at a scary movie, like looking between your fingers, like, are you gonna sign us?
Exactly.
I feel that.
Pull the wool up. But yeah, I got to get through it. Okay, I'm a big boy now. Let's just get to it. If it works, it works. God's got a plan. I can do this. Let's go.
And I know I've told you this before, but I think I don't say like everything happens for a reason, but I do feel you're onto something. And maybe we're going to time track it today for February of 2026 when you come back in 2027 and you're just killing it with the podcast and the freelance work. So we're going to timestamp it here when we post it. But
please do.
It's interesting. And talking through, because of course we have to take about the horrendous hiring processes and all.
Yes.
What has been, and especially this journey of you've talked to so many professionals, hiring managers, recruiters, job seekers. I mean, what are some of the reoccurring themes that you're seeing from your perspective? Because I'm sure people are sick of hearing my opinions.
You from perspective from the hiring managers or from the job seekers?
From your own experiences,
From
what are
my own
you seeing?
experiences,
Yes.
the system is broken. Or
Mm-hmm.
shall I say it wasn't right anyway. They've just compounded all the issues with throwing AI into the mix with saying, oh, we got this great new deal to make things a lot easier. Let's just use it. Well, guess what? We have to teach how to use it. We can't just expect it to do itself. We all use ChatGPT or Copilot, whatever we're using these days, which is amazing. Okay. I've named mine. He knows who he is. He knows the
He
tone of
knows you.
yes, he knows my tone, what I'm looking for when I'm writing something to look at stuff, especially writing a resume. But these companies have implemented that into their HR system. And the system is looking for what? Keywords.
Yep.
And then they set up their algorithms to filter through those keywords. So if you don't fit, you're spit out.
Ow.
And if you look at the 500, like if I look at a job right here for Carhartt, I shouldn't say names, and it's been posted for 2 weeks and there's over 500 people that applied for it. Could be way more than that from Indeed and other places, right? Or from their website. So they'll say they got 1,000 people have applied for that in 2 weeks. I see it. I'm going to apply. Are you serious? It's like winning the freaking lottery. There is no way in hell I'm going to get picked. Okay.
Right.
And even trying to know somebody. Oh, I know someone that works there. I'm going to call up Sue. Sue, I saw this job posting. I'll see what I can do. We don't have any relationship now with HR. They handle that on their own. I'll do my best, but I don't think I can help you. Same, all these companies are doing that. It's like there's a lock and a key around the hiring department.
Right. And it's interesting too, because it shouldn't be this difficult. And I feel companies are just doing extra work because I always max out 50 applicants. I'm closing my job. I don't want to filter through 500 people because you still have to filter through the 500 people and then still look at the resume. So to me, that's way too much work that I don't want to do. And oh my gosh.
So I mean, you and I talked about it on Ghosted by the Machine about this and how the process works. And,
right.
and I've thought about this and I've talked to other job seekers about the same thing. It's almost like, why even apply? It's a waste of your time. That hour you redoing your resume and that cover letter, they're never going to see it. And that information, another thing that I'll add, is being used as human capital.
Right.
That's a new term that I've learned, especially when my phone goes off in a spam 20 times a day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, it is. And I tell people, I say it all the time. It's like, your time's valuable. If an application's taking you hours to do, there's not even a guarantee you're going to get a call back. So I say no. And there's no reason places can't make an easy job application. When I hire, I put it on easy apply on LinkedIn because you either have my qualifications or you don't. It's not, and whoever's starting the rumor that easy apply it's just all garbage jobs and you're never going to get called back. I'm like, that's not a thing. I do easy apply. I did recruiting consulting. I had all my people on easy apply.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
That was another misconception out there. It really was. Don't use easy apply. Go to their website and apply, because easy apply, you're never going to get through.
And that's full of crap because, you're going to get me on my soapbox. She's stepping on. But it's to explain it to people. I mean, it all goes to the same system. So I love me some social media. I also hate it because now we have the influencer of like, oh yeah, I hired once 10 years ago, or hey, I worked for Google, so I have the street cred to say I can hire. It's like, if you've never hired before, you can't give people advice. And if you've been retired in over 5 years, you can't give hiring advice. It changes like the freaking stock market. So where we got into all this, I don't understand, because when you apply, LinkedIn, Indeed, Monster, website, it all goes to the same system on the same application.
And speaking of job recruiters, I love on LinkedIn where you see these, there's someone that posts and she posts herself working out. She's a job recruiter. She's in a workout outfit and she's posting about recruiting, or she's all made up and she's like looking like she just, walked out of a sauna and you should, recruiting is this and recruiting is that. It's like, what are you selling? You selling cosmetics? You selling, What are you selling here? Because it really doesn't mesh real well to LinkedIn and what we're doing and trying to find jobs. Quite frankly, it's ridiculous. And
See, my favorite fight to get in, it's not politics. It's about the job search process. That's my favorite fight to get on. It just, it's so easy. Just go find a job. Or, being an entrepreneur is hard. Why don't you just go get a corporate job? Like, okay, here, let me just go do that real quick. Because it's so easy,
jump
right?
through hoops? I mean, that's the way it is right now. It's jumping through hoops. So I had one interview, 4 interviews for one job.
Right.
This other one, big firm down in Detroit, probably one of the largest, got a lot of money. They have a golf outing every year. Do I have to name them? So,
I get it.
This one recruiter put information out there that they have this job, and I applied for it as a director of marketing for this company. Well, I didn't know it was for that company. Well, the recruiter calls me back. I shouldn't say I contacted them. They contacted me, and they said, we are interested in talking with you. We need work samples. We need this. You're going to have to do a writing test. You're going to have to do this. And it's probably going to be a 3-stage process of interviewing. I'm like, are you serious? You've got my portfolio. You've got my resume. You've got my referrals. Yeah. And now I got to do a writing test, and I got to do at least 3 interviews. Yes. Okay. Put me through. Go ahead. Let's do it. Didn't go anywhere. She called me back. She says, you're overqualified.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite cop out for that, because they don't want to pay you what you're worth is what it is. They want a director of marketing at a marketing coordinator salary.
They want someone at 5 to 10 years, they say. That's their excuse. It just doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Yes. And there's no more, I know somebody. There's no more. I mean, look, I can remember I was on a boat trip up to Mackinac for the Mackinac Policy Conference working for one company. I sat next to the vice president of this other company, and we're talking. We then saw each other on the island. We had a couple cups of coffee together in the morning. A week later, I contacted and I said, look, I'm not really happy with this position I'm at. Just wanted to call and say hi, and that I'm in the process of looking. Come in, let's talk. 2 days later, got an offer letter. I got a job.
That's what it is it's not. I think people think when we say like your network, they're thinking like LinkedIn network and message a whole bunch of strangers. It's networks in other ways. I mean, it's from, like for your case, bar owners are the places you're playing gigs. It's talking if you're in any type of sports, if you're a regular at a coffee shop, if you're in a book club, a wine club, a bourbon club, like whatever. Those are the networks, the alumni network. Like that's what you're looking at, where people love to fight me and they're like, well, I'm not messaging a bunch of strangers. I'm like, yeah, I agree. Don't message a bunch of strangers, but I'm more likely to help a Penn State alumni because we both went to the same college, sure, or someone from my old job that maybe I didn't even know, because we like to help each other. But
right.
It's just, it shouldn't be this hard. And I'd take 0809 recession hiring over this.
Or COVID hiring.
Yes.
At least you're going to do it on Zoom, and you're not going to get an AI person calling you to do an interview.
I am sarcastically saying this. I forget what the stupid technical term is, but when you have to do your interview, like record it and submit your answers, yep, I would fail. As someone who loves to talk and has a literal podcast with close to 200 episodes here and speak for a living, I would fail those so hard. And I'm great at what I do. So I can't imagine having to go through that process, because I'm going to overthink it, and then I'm going to get stressed, and then I'm going to cry, and then I'm going to be pissed, and then I'm not going to ever submit it. That's exactly what would happen if I had to do it. So I don't know how people are doing it.
I had an interview with a firm down in North Carolina, and they set me up with an AI interview, like a screening test. And we are AI, blah, blah, blah. We're going to give you 6 questions at the end. Just, click your star button to end the interview. So I get on and answer the first question, but it's not easy because there's no give and take. There's no, I understand. That's a good answer. There's none of that. There's no back.
Right. No feedback.
No feedback. Right. No feedback. So I got to the third question, click, the phone went off. I guess it didn't like my answers.
Like it ended?
Yeah, it ended. I contacted the company and I just, feedback, blah, 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 blah. I only got through. How can I finish the last 3? I'm very interested in the position. Never heard back. Ghosted.
Well, that's so stupid because that's hindering the process. I don't know. Call me old school. I love a good phone call. So Why? And I check my vibes on people. I like you. I'm calling you on the spot. Or if you don't answer, then let's set up a time to talk. And I don't like you. Okay, on to the next one. Like, I don't understand. It's more work to have to set up this AI interview and put all of the work into it, get the feedback. And then I'm sure there's 5 million technical issues. And they're like, screw it, we're not going to deal with it.
Exactly.
So then you're back to square one, where your employees are probably still overworked and you need someone tomorrow, but you don't set up the systems to get the right people tomorrow, do you?
Right. Yeah. I did have to take a personality test.
I do like that. Which one did you take?
Colby.
Oh, I like that one. Okay.
That was interesting. I've never had to do that.
It's interesting. Yes.
And there's no right or wrong answer. It's just like, tell me who you are. And it basically told me who I am. And I sent it over and I'm still waiting to hear back to see if I fit what they're looking for. I'm like, wow. I guess my resume doesn't fit the bill enough.
I like the personality tests where if it's not the only deciding factor. I think they're interesting to see and to analyze. I mean, I have a degree in IO psychology, so yeah, I'm a little biased that I do like the personality test, but I think it's interesting to see because I do a bit of that for my career coaching, and I've done like the Gallup Strengths Finder and everything like that, and had my teammates do it. And it is interesting, but it shouldn't be the end all be all. But how people work together, because I think and at least the people I talk to a lot of times, it's leaving a bad manager, not leaving a bad company, or they love their job, hate their manager. So how can we move those people? We'd save companies millions of dollars a year, but
sure.
So I do like that.
I can see that. We did that at Goodwill, and I did that at Salvation Army. So it's interesting. I mean, it told me who I was. I just feel, did I answer the questions to get the job? I really would like that job.
Right.
I mean, AI couldn't even help me with that. Here's the job and here's the test and how do I fit? No, can't help you there. Damn you, AI.
Yes, believe me, I have more gray hairs, I find, in the last year than I have in the last decade. So it's fine. We'll figure it out. It'll all be good. So what do you have? Where's your head at with everything? With Ghosted by the Machine, with still looking for an opportunity? I mean, what's in store for us for 2026? And by us, I mean you.
By me. Well, I can tell you that I'm full throttle. I'm in overdrive. I'm putting all my effort into this. I have an opportunity to join another network that is going to be broadcasting on Roku and Fire Stick.
Ooh,
I don't know if I told you that. I don't want to say too much at this point, but it's an opportunity to have my show appear on those two platforms. Looking for sponsors. Definitely need some revenue to come in. So I'm working on that. I'm doing my music. I'm doing some freelance video work for a couple politicians in congressional seats. So I do that too. I write political ads and produce spots for some politicians, which is interesting because I get to do a little bit more media training. So I sit with them and walk through speaking, how to read a script, how to convey themselves better on camera. So I've done that for many years. So I really enjoy doing that and teaching them and coaching them. So I hope to do more of that. The music is growing, and I'm applying very selective on what I apply for. I've come to that conclusion after speaking with you and reassessing everything. There's no more the shotgun approach. I just can't do that. And it takes up a lot of time. Plus my mental health.
Yep.
It's
huge.
I have a friend in California I spoke to. We're very close. We actually played at Carnegie Hall together. My friend Chris, trombone player. So he knows my journey. I've interviewed him in my show. He's been out of work. He's done over 2,000 resumes or applications. 2,000. And he's fighting the tough fight now. He got a job opportunity working with a company. He's waiting on his letter. It's been 2 weeks. So he's on pins and needles.
Yep.
Where's my paperwork? I'm supposed to start the 1st of March. I haven't got my agreement. And
that gives me anxiety.
He's telling me about I'm going to have to move. I'm going to have to find a smaller place. I'm going to have to consolidate. I just don't have the money right now. So
yeah.
I'm going to focus. In 2026, I believe it's going to be a better year than 2025. Actually, 2025, I've taken that off my calendar. No longer.
Same.
It's like 13th floor in a hotel or a high rise. So it's no longer on my calendar. I have no idea what it was.
She was something. She was.
So that's my plan. That's my plan.
I love it. Now, as we wrap this up, you've been incredible, Mark. What advice do you have for listeners?
Take that mental health break when you can, if you're in the job market. Definitely take it seriously. Definitely be resourceful. Look for people that can help mentor you through this process. Try to find someone like yourself, Angela, that they can go to and say, hey, what do you suggest I do? Because really, we're all trying for the same thing. We're all rolling the same way, but there's always other ways to get there. So try to talk to as many people as you can. Be flexible, be a Gumby. But again, take that mental break. It's really important because I can tell you that it's very taxing. It's been very taxing.
It is. Mark, you've been absolutely incredible. Thank you for sharing your story with us. And for those of you listening, if you want to check out Ghosted by the Machine or all the greatness that is Mark, head to the show notes and tune in next week for another episode of That's Business.